Hey, this is Jason Mott. If you want your baseball news, listen to One Cardinal, One Cub, and One Beer with JJ and Vince.
Hello and welcome to One Cardinal, One Cup, and One Beer. We are so excited because baseball season has officially begun. We had our, I guess, pre-season show last week, and now we're at the first week of the real season. So it's suddenly very serious. It's
Yes.
very, you want to know how serious it is?
How serious, Vince?
I was just watching the first few innings of the Cincinnati Texas game. Nathan Eovaldi has a perfect game through 4 innings.
Oh,
It's
whoa.
it's serious, man. Nobody's laughing, nobody's smiling. It's
No,
dead
I'm smiling
serious.
because I enjoy it. There was somebody took a 6 inning no hitter. I heard over the weekend, but I forgot who it was now. But it wasn't us. But somebody had a 6 inning no hitter going.
Yeah, and I think it was a White Sox pitcher, Perez, his first
Yeah,
start
Martin
there, and
Perez.
yeah,
Yes.
and they took him out after 6 innings with a no hitter. I watched some of that game because I had no life. Thinking baseball when I can. So, um, well, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Please like us on Facebook. We would like your likes. If you want to engage with us, please engage with us because the more likes and engagements we get, the more our name gets out there. And being we are terribly narcissistic, we really do want our names out there. I mean, when I die, I want people to say, "Oh wow, that Vince Hopper died. I remember him because he was that guy who knew nothing about baseball, and his partner JJ just had to set him straight all the time." It was
No, no, no.
yeah. So, um, if you are watching us on the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can have your information, or you can have our information as soon as it drops. We can have your information. Yeah, we're Doge. We are looking for your information. Okay, so
Yeah.
uh, you can contact us through one card, one cup, one beer at gmail.com, or you can leave a comment in one of our formats on the YouTube channel. You can leave a comment on the podcast. If you listen to the podcast on a platform, leave a comment there. We'll get it. If you are just engaging on Facebook, just leave a comment on Facebook, or just the good old fashioned email. Anything works. Or if you see us on the street, talk to us. Okay. You can support us through Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search for One Cardinal, One Cup, and One Beer to support our efforts. If you would like to be a guest on our show, if you'd like to be on a panel, if you have an interesting baseball story or anecdote or expertise that would be a good fit for our show, let us know. We love to have our people as our guests. And JJ, happy April Fool's Day.
Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Vince, as you can tell, I'm using my phone tonight here in Potosi. We've had some storms, some I don't know what's going on, but I came home today and the internet was out. I couldn't even watch a game. I wanted to get some information. Maybe there's some breaking news. Couldn't do it, so I'm using the phone tonight. We're roughing it, and I'm also on an antibiotic, kind of down on the weather still. I haven't got over that pneumonia. I'm getting older and pneumonia can really knock you for a loop. And I've been having some issues with that. So I said, nope, Tuesday night, baseball. I get to talk to everybody, get to see my buddy Vince. And so I'm here, excited. And Vince, we have a lot of people who love baseball, but they like hockey too. And I don't know, have you paid attention to what the Blues have been doing? The St. Louis Blues,
Yeah, they're surging.
they they have a trading deadline. I don't know much about hockey, but they have a trading deadline, and people were kind of counting them out. They mathematically still had a chance. Their most biggest star, I think, went down, and all of a sudden they had that break, and they came back, and they just can't hardly be beat. So we have a lot of hockey fans. My good old buddy Hodge and Dennis Rose, and I know Jim Turner. A lot of them are big hockey fans. So congratulations to all the Blues fans out there for having such a electrifying season. And Vince, I want you to know I have enjoyed watching the Cubs. You inspired me. You said last year that you try to watch a game from every team. I saw the two Dodger Cub games, and then I saw the Cubs play the Arizona team, and I think the Cubs are very good. You guys have started out with a real rough schedule, but I tell you what, you're getting some of them tougher ones out of the way, and the Cubs are just going to be a tough team, and they're fun to watch. So I've seen 3 games and enjoyed them all.
Very good. Well, thank you for watching. I have watched 2 complete Cardinal games and pieces of 2 others. So it's been nice to see baseball. My wife's really enjoying it too. And like last night, we watched the Cardinal game, and then when that got over, the Cub game started at about 10 after 9. So I watched the Cub game and stayed all the way up. And I'll get into that. I stayed all the way up past midnight watching the game, and I'll do that again tonight. JJ, concerning your internet, I went to Potosi and I kind of took out the internet.
Oh,
It
you
was an
dirty dog.
April Fool's prank. So,
I was wanting to catch some maybe an afternoon game. I get home about an hour before we tape just to see if I could get some information, anything, and it just didn't want to work. So I was like, no, this can't be. But anyway, this gives me a good break to do something I'd really love to do anyway.
well, good, good. Sorry that your internet is out. That's not good, but it's good that you're happy to be here.
Thank you.
So, what else has happened with you this week?
You know, I saw a documentary on Tom Seaver. Love Tom Seaver and the Mets, and it was done by Fox Sports. Really well done. I recommend it to anybody. My wife and my son, I went without TV for about 15, 16 years, and we finally got TV about 3 or 4. And my wife and son have got all the baseball channels. I can watch what FanDuel, I think, is what the Cardinals are on.
Yeah.
The Cubs. Forgot the channel, but I'm able to watch the Cub games and in the MLB. So I'm a happy customer. There's baseball. I try not to take advantage and have my wife watching baseball 24/7, but I watch as much as I can. So that's been a delight. But the Tom Seaver special was done by Fox Sports, and it was really great. Talked about the Mets getting a team, the Giants and the Dodgers leaving, and that Tom was their first big star that came through, and the '69 Miracle Mets, and just his life. And then it would go. He evidently is a California fella, and he had a winery out there, and it just went back and forth to his life and honored him. And I recommend anybody to watch that Tom Seaver documentary. It's really, really good. So that's what I basically did this week.
I liked Tom Seaver when I was a kid, but I also liked him as a broadcaster because he was one of those, if he wasn't pitching in the playoffs, they'd oftentimes have him in the booth. Very well-spoken, pleasant guy, and you watched like Ryan pitch or one of those other flamethrowers from the day, and Ryan just looked like he'll kill you. Seaver, he didn't look as intense as Ryan, but man, his numbers pretty. He was a bulldog, and people say, well, he pitched on 2 World Series teams with the Mets. Yeah, but neither of those teams were really like offensive juggernauts. In fact, that 73 team was like an 82 win team that played the A's and lost in the World Series. So then when he went to the Reds, a much better offensive team, but he was starting to slow down a few years into his Cincinnati years. One thing I really appreciated about Ryan or about Seaver is when he lost the fastball, he was still effective because he had learned how to pitch. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit when you talk about Cardinal news. It's very hard for a pitcher to learn how to pitch late in his career when the stuff is not very good. And Seaver was still winning 15, 16 games for the White Sox. And I think he pitched for the Red Sox. He was still pitching good when he, not to use a cliche, but he lost his fastball. It wasn't no longer 98.
His only no hitter was against us. I think he was with the Reds, but it was, I don't know, late 70s, and then he was on the Red Sox when the Mets beat him. The Bill Buckner, I hate to say it, the Bill Buckner, but that Met Red Sox series, he was on the visitor team. He was on the Red Sox at that time, so he's got a lot of connections to the Mets through the years, and some say the greatest Met player who has ever lived. And that's a good argument right there. It'd be hard to beat him.
Yeah, Lenny Dykstra thinks he's the greatest Met that ever lived.
Well, yeah, he's got confidence.
When Seaver no-hit the Cardinals, I think it was 78.
I think you're right.
I was in Wisconsin. We were on a family vacation fishing, and we had heard on the radio the night it happened that Seaver threw his first no-hitter against the Cardinals. So I didn't get to see it because they didn't show Cardinal games in northern Wisconsin, and we didn't stay anywhere with a TV. So, but my grandparents also, sometimes they would go to the same resort we would on the same week. And it was just a fishing resort. I remember the next day, my grandpa and dad talking about the Cub game. And I don't remember what happened there. My grandpa said, "Oh, Dan, you know what happened with the Cardinals?" And dad said, "Yep, Seaver no-hit him." So
I'll never forget it. It was great theater on the radio. And, you're begging your team, come on, just get a hit. But at the end of the game, I was very happy for Seaver. Well deserving.
yes, it was. So, oh, well, let's get into some baseball news. Lance Lynn has officially retired. Great career, 13 years. And he was one of those pitchers who mostly fastballs. Here it is, hit it. And he had great movement on his fastball, which always made it difficult to hit. But the last couple of years, he had slowed down, and I think it was a good time for him to retire. I don't like seeing people hang on too long, and so I kind of respect him. Hey, last year I had a decent season for a guy whose stuff is completely best years are completely behind me. So it's time to go out. And he retires. Last team he pitched for was the Cardinals, the team he came up with. So
it's good to see.
What's your best memory of Lance Lynn?
I remember him coming up, and there was a bunch of guys at the time. When we got Adam Wainwright, he was by far our hardest thrower, and there was a lot of noise about Adam Wainwright. Well, about 8-9 years into his career, he goes, if I came up with these guys, I'd be the 8th or 9th fastest thrower on the team. And Lance Lynn was one of those guys. And the first couple of years he played, he was in our bullpen, and he just looked like he was overpowering. Kind of like we have a young man named Roycroft. He's not as tall as Roycroft, but just a devastating pinpoint fastball. And I thought, this is great. And then they moved him to a starter. Of course, he didn't throw as hard as he did out of the bullpen, but he had some very good years, a part of a World Series team. And I appreciated him. I hated to see him leave, but that last year, it just looked like they were splitting ways. And anytime he had success, I was happy for him. He's kind of one of these grumpy guys. He's out there. He's always, but I like that. He had a lot of emotion when he pitched. So he'll be missed, and I'll always have fond memories of Lance Lynn.
Sounds like Bing Bong's trying to get into my office.
Oh, you hear the noise.
Yeah.
I feed my cats right before the podcast, so they're all conked out right now.
Oh, he wants to come in here and sleep on my lap. If I'm down here working, he'll want to come in here and just sleep on my lap. If Kathy's in her office, which is, outside, well, not outside, but it's not connected to the house, he will go in there and he will lay on her desk, usually where the keyboard is. So she's got one of those deals where she can stand her keyboard up and work standing up. And he got in. Hey, buddy.
Oh,
Bill Steam, hop up here. Go ahead, hop up there.
he's a
Go
fan
ahead.
favorite.
Go ahead. There you
Oh,
go.
there he is,
Hey, buddy.
the
Yeah.
mascot.
Oh, the pain in the neck. So, hey. No,
There he is.
I'm going to text Kathy, see if she can come and get him because this is
Oh,
not going to work out. Uh, this is riveting. Right up there. That's where all my stop. Gosh. Uh, my wife's name is Kathy. Uh, can you get Bing Bong? Oh, there you are. Can you get Bing Bong? Yeah, he's already trying to knock things down. Yeah, go with Grandma. Yeah. Bye bye, buddy.
my Bing Bong.
Just has to make an appearance. Oh, so best of luck to Lance Lynn and his future. Probably has a few dollars tucked away, so I'm sure he's gonna.
Oh yeah, these players today, yeah, they play their cards right. Them and their grandkids will never have to work again.
Yeah, yeah. And the way I played my cards, my grandkids will be working till the day they die. Yep.
I think I'll be paying off my debt.
Oh, have you seen these torpedo bats that are?
I have, and when I first heard about them, I was like, "This doesn't sound fair," but evidently they meet the requirements. They're denser. Let's see, I wrote a little thing here about the torpedo bats. They're harder and what is it? Fatter part of the bat. The fat part of the bat. They're just more dense or something to this effect, and they have a little odd look to them. And on top of that, the Yankees, I think, are the only team using them, except Aaron Judge isn't. But they're just not going to cover off the ball the first few games. They're just hitting home runs, so that makes it even look a little more mysterious. But evidently, they're not breaking any rules by using these bats. I think the Cardinals need to go get about 20 of them.
Well, Nico Horner's been using one for a while.
Oh, okay.
It's like a bowling pin, and the way they're getting away with this is the the bottom of the bat, or the top of the bat. I guess it's the top of the bat, is thinner, and then they kind of build these individually, and they custom make them for players where their sweet spot is. They will put it will kind of fatten out in that area where their sweet spot is to give them better contact where the sweet spot is. So instead of your traditional bat being, the stem and then you got the barrel, and then, once the barrel starts, it's the same length. It kind of bows out where their sweet spot is, and then is thinner at the top. So it looks kind of like a bowling pin. And of course, it's April Fool's Day, so you see a million things online April Fools. And the first thing I saw this morning is the torpedo bat is being banned.
I saw
And I'm
that
thinking,
too.
no, I don't think so. They don't ban something that quick.
Right.
So I I'm I'm for it. And I'll tell you why I'm for it, because we've seen pitching so dominant, and we've seen offense so down. Um,
Yeah.
as long as it is within the rules of Major League Baseball, um, sure, and Mike Warner's not a home run hitter, it makes more sense. When you have that thick part at the end of the bat, that's nobody's sweet spot,
Yeah.
So I kind of like them. They were kind of invented. I don't know if you invent something. They were modified by a guy named Aaron Leanhart, and he was Miami's field coordinator. And he came up with the torpedo bat when he was working with the Marlins, but now he's working with the Yankees, and that's where the Yankees have grabbed hold of it. So they've been around for a couple of years where people have been using them in batting practice. Um, but when the Yankees score 20 runs and hit 9 home runs, suddenly it's on the front page everywhere. Torpedo bats, torpedo bats, torpedo bats. Um, but I don't think that they're making it sound like it's a super bat. One of the problems with that game with the Brewers is the Brewers just were not pitching well. So and I saw all 9 home runs on replay. Every one of them was like, yeah, that was a pitching mistake. That was a pitching mistake. So I don't care if you go up there with an aluminum bat. If you are pitching good and you're missing bats and you're missing the sweet parts of the bat, you can win. And they just weren't pitching very well that day. So, but yeah, this Aaron Leinart is probably going to make a lot of money because now word spreads it's a copycat league. And well, I'm going to buy a few and see how they work and see, if I can hit 9 home runs in a game or something.
The Yankees went to the league and got their permission to use them. I heard Ricky Horton talking on the radio about how when he was in high school, he used they weren't called torpedo bats, but something similar, and it was the Nellie Fox edition, and that's what he used to hit. But he said he knew a kid one time that what did he do? Doctor his bat. He corked it and he still couldn't hit. He said, you got to hit. No matter what you do to your bat, you still got to hit. So, some of them might do odd things to their bats, but if you don't hit, you still, if you can't hit, or like you said, good pitching always stops good hitting. So we'll see what happens with these torpedo bats. I wonder if they don't break as much because the Cardinals have had a lot of broken bats here in their first 4 games. I wonder if that's a plus that these bats don't crack and break like the other bats do. They're more dense, so I don't know.
I hadn't thought about the bats breaking.
Might save a little money. I don't know.
And Antonio, and I hate trying to pronounce his last name, Senzatella. I think that's right. Although the next time I pronounce it's probably going to come out completely different. He's been around for a while. He's on the Rockies staff now, and he became the first pitcher since Bill Doak in 1922 to allow 9 hits, strike out no batters, while holding his opponents scoreless.
That's impressive. Yes.
That's luck.
It is, or just yes.
It's something that hasn't happened in 103 years. It's luck, but it's still kind of amazing in this day and age where we are so much into swing and miss and missing bats. A guy allows 9 hits and doesn't strike out anyone. Still, I don't remember how many innings he threw, but held his opponent completely scoreless. I remember as a kid, Jerry Koosman, I think he was pitching for the Twins at the time, maybe the White Sox, but Jerry Koosman pitched a shutout and gave up 10 hits. It's like unreal,
Well, he probably didn't walk many. Koosman had good control. Maybe he didn't walk many, They just made him earn their keep. You talked about luck. I don't know if this is being good or being lucky, but of course, an odd record that's never been broken. Tyler O'Neill, 6 straight opening days with a home run, 3 different teams that covers. And Vince, it's hard to hit a home run. And, Tyler O'Neill is a home run hitter, but to hit 6 consecutive opening days, that's like a Tuffy Rhodes kind of record there, Tuffy Rhodes, all them home runs with Tyler O'Neill, he's had a nice career. He gets hurt quite a bit, and I love him, and I wish him all the best. But there's got to be a little luck to that, to be hitting all those home runs, because if you try to hit a home run, you'll never get close. Well, unless you're O'Neill or Judge, or I guess, or somebody like that. But That's just an odd record, and that's kind of cool to see. I'll be watching him next opening day, next year too.
I think he's got like a uh, Julio Franco career that's going to happen. He's going to get to an age in his probably 33, 34 year where it's probably catching up with him, time to retire. But teams are always going to sign him and let him play opening day and then cut him after opening day. That's going to be his thing.
Yeah, yeah, my gosh. And I saw his dad in the crowd. You know, his dad was Mr. Canada, and that guy, he's got to be at least in his 60s, and he was just, I mean, he looked fantastic. Them guys, they the workout's working. Whatever they're doing, it's working.
Remember Jack LaLanne?
Yeah. Oh, Jack LaLanne had a fitness show on television.
Yeah, and when I was little, he was an old man, and I think he lived into his 80s. And he was this old man with this big, buff, fit body, and his wife was 80, and she was all fit. And they still died.
Well, yes, they did. Yes, but you know what? They had a higher functioning life later in life than most. I would have to say. You know, they had
Yeah,
little waist, Vince. I'm telling you what, he probably had a 32-inch waist,
yeah, but he still died.
but he still he looked good in that coffin.
Yeah, I don't care if I look terrible in my coffin, but if I die and I have a nice cheeseburger in my belly, I'll be smiling in my
He's
coffin.
smiling. That's right.
Mm. Oh, Garrett Crochet of the Red Sox signed a 6-year extension, which will start in 2026 and take him through his 2031 season. So, um, leaves the White Sox. Great things happen.
Yeah.
6-year extension, and he walked
Isn't
on a
it what
walk.
he wanted last year? He said he wouldn't leave unless he got an extension or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He said he didn't want trade unless he was going to get traded somewhere where there would be an
yeah,
extension.
he got his way, but he's a phenomenal pitcher, and that's a risky thing to get a pitcher for 6 years, but you can't judge it until it's over with. But I wish him all the best. He's one of the top choices for like Cy Young and stuff this year, so it'll be fun watching him.
Yeah, yep. And Jerickson Profar,
Yes.
80 game suspension for HGH. When will they learn? When will they learn?
Well, I think he got like a late contract, and it wasn't for a whole lot. And sometimes, and Vince, I kind of understand sometimes this is all they have is baseball. And if you can maybe cheat the system and stick around a year or two more, but it's with the way they test these guys now, you're going to get caught eventually. And I kind of feel, I don't know how I feel, but it's just sad that he thought he had to do that to stay in the league, and maybe that's what he had to do to stay in the league. I don't know, but that definitely does hurt the team he was a part of.
Yeah, he was a highly touted prospect and never lived up to it. He's been around for a while. And
Wow.
then last year, suddenly he's an all-star. And, oh, good, he's finally figured it out. And you also found out that he was cheating a little bit. But so Jerickson, work on those video game skills and uh, take your 2.5 months off, and then come back clean
Yeah,
and start to rake. Okay.
just like everybody else has to. That's right.
Yep. 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 So I
Hey,
mean, I have to.
yeah, that's right.
You think I can do this show and be dirty?
No,
We get randomly tested, what, 4 or 5 times a year?
somebody shows up my door all the time, and I got to urinate for them. And
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I do it for the good of the show.
And the weird thing is, they make you do it at the door. You know,
There at the door.
what are you doing, man? So,
Yeah. Well, okay, if that's
the
the
drug
rules,
test.
all right.
So,
Hey, Vince, what do you think? We were talking about the torpedo bats, but the Yankees, there was you know all about this, but right at the beginning of the game, they had Nestor Cortez pitching, which I don't know if this happened because the Yankees know him so well. 3 pitches, 3 home runs, and that's never been done. And as a pitcher, I wouldn't know how to feel. What do you do? They're smoking everything you're throwing, and like you said, it was too much of the plate. He caught too much of the plate, but these guys do know him. But one was Goldschmidt leading off, which I thought was a little unusual. But what do I know? He hit a home run. Bellinger, who was with, Goldschmidt was with Cardinals, Bellinger was with Cubs, and then of course Judge hits everybody out. But that was 3 straight batters, 3 home runs on 3 pitches. That's crazy right there. That's a fun stat.
Yeah, he got hit so hard. I was curious if um, they knew some of his tendencies where he would tip his pitches, and because that is weird. You 3 pitches, 3 home runs. And they were bad pitches. They weren't quality pitches, but still, no one's going up there taking a pitch. You're just going up there hacking away, and you got to feel shell shocked. Well, not you, but Nestor does. He has to feel.
Well, I was shocked, and when you give up 3 home runs on 3 pitches in Yankee Stadium, that crowd, they're kind of rowdy anyway, but they were out of hand, and you're like, oh no, this is going to be a long day for the Brewers. And speaking of the Brewers, they've been going through. Now I know we don't feel sorry for the Brewers. They've been a thorn in our side for 5 years now. They've been really good, but the Yankees hit 11 home runs in just 2 games off them, and 3 were hit by Judge on Saturday. And the home runs and alive. The Orioles hit 10 home runs through 3 games. So we're seeing the ball fly out of there. And usually during springtime, when it's cool, the ball's not flying out of the parks like they do in the summertime. So we might be up for a long season of some long balls. I mean, we may see some, teams hitting, this may be a season where a lot of people just sitting back and hitting 3-run homers. I don't know. I know it's small sample size, but so far the ball's flying out of the park.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Every season is different. You have seasons where for the first 2 weeks it's all pitching, 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 cold weather, pitching wins, pitching wins. We've had games of 20 runs. We've had games of 18 runs. The Royals tacked on, I think, 11 runs to the Brewers, and most of those were in the last few innings. We're seeing some high scores early in the season. So I don't know if that's an indication that the ball's wound tighter, or if it's just kind of an anomaly and things will settle down. But yeah, it's if you like offense, this is the time to be a baseball fan.
Definitely.
And yeah, you and I are kind of like we appreciate and like a good pitcher's duel. So
Oh, definitely.
yeah, I don't like softball games. I enjoy seeing a high scoring game every now and then, but I don't want that to be the norm.
I'm with you.
I really like to see a pitcher and a batter battle and have those low scoring games where something's going to make a difference, like a stolen base or a sacrifice fly or something like
A
that.
great defensive play, holding the lead, and if that ball lands, the other team could tie or take the lead, and I just love that. But we've already seen position players pitching. I know the Angels threw a position player out there like in the second game of the season. I think that's a little early to go to your position players, but they were getting tranched. So instead of wasting another pitcher, they just threw him out there.
You want to know what was weird? In last night's Cub game, the A's pitched the ninth with their backup catcher, and we had taken Swanson out of the game and put in Workman, which meant we lost our DH because we shuffled the lineup. So we had to have a pitcher bat. So Colin Ray batted in the ninth. He was hitting against a catcher who was pitching. That's weird in today's world.
That is weird. Yes. Yeah. I Vince, there's a rule. I was I didn't know the completion of the rule, but evidently you cannot use. I knew you could not use. You couldn't throw your glove at the ball. Like if you can't get to it, you can't throw your glove out there trying to catch it with it not on your person, and you
Every
can't
little
use
leaguer
your.
tried that though.
Did you see the White Sox game? There was a guy. The ball went off the wall, and he took a wrong angle, and it came back, and he took his hat and he tried to catch it with his hat. He
Can't
didn't
do
get
that.
caught. He didn't get caught because it got by him. But if you catch a ball with your hat or you throw your glove, like you're standing at the wall and you can't jump and catch it, but you throw it up and knock the ball back in, you can't do that. The batter is awarded 3 bases. Now, it's a very rule that you don't see all the time, but I heard them talking about that. The only reason I know this, Vince, is I was watching the MLB channel, so I didn't just recall this rule, but I just knew you couldn't throw your glove or your hat at the ball. But you get 3 bases if they do that. The guy got away with it because he missed it, but he tried to catch it with his hat because it took a weird angle off the wall. It was a White Sox center fielder. That's all I remember. So I'll just throw that out there. That's a rule I did not know the fullest extent of that rule.
Yeah, it's like if there's a fly ball and you don't catch it and it goes down your jersey, it's live. It's not an out. And
Oh,
yeah, I've got video proof of that. If you ever see the movie Meatballs, they hit a fly ball to the left fielder and it goes down her shirt, and they just kept running, and that's how I
kept
realized, huh, that
running.
would be a rule. Yeah, so
Oh, man, how about that? I had no clue about that one.
uh,
Oh,
got anything else for general news?
one thing, it is so hard to change positions. To us fans, it looks like, well, shoot, you're a shortstop. You ought to, or you're a catcher. You ought to be able to go play first base, or you're a third baseman. You should play first and be If you're a Gold Glove third baseman, you ought to be a third Gold Glove first baseman. It doesn't work that way. And right now, the Pirates, Vince, I know I shouldn't feel sorry for these teams in our division, but I feel kind of sorry for them because they've moved O'Neill Cruz because he's just makes too many errors at shortstop, and he's having a tough time learning the center field position. I've seen so many highlights where he takes the wrong angle, or he'll pull up right before the wall and just kind of short arm the ball, and it'll come just hit the end of his glove. And I don't know. They got all. I know Jazz Chisholm tried to play center field. I think it was 2 years ago, and it was it was kind of a rough time of it. So it's just hard, and I appreciate people who can. Like we have Brendan Donovan, who plays a myriad of positions, and he is top quality at I think everywhere he plays. You guys had Ben Zobrist, who I think he could have played any of the positions full time and been a top notch defender at any position. Those guys are that's such a rarity. And then you got O'Neill Cruz, great talent, but man, I don't know, Vince. He's got a long way to go to be an average center fielder right now. So if you're going to play that, we got the Pirates next week. So I hope it's still a learning curve for him while we play them.
I don't know why they didn't stick him in a corner.
Yes.
And because the toughest thing about center field is you're the captain out there, so you you call the shots in the outfield. And if you've never done it before, it's yeah, that I don't know if, is that my ball or is his ball? So you can see collisions and stuff like that.
Oh
Other
yeah.
thing is when you're playing one of the corner and they pull the ball over your head, it's a little easier to judge. When you're in center and they hit that ball dead center, because of the way it comes off of the bat and just flies, if it's coming right at you, it is the toughest ball in baseball to judge. And you see veteran center fielders when the ball's hit directly at them, freeze. I don't know if I should back up. I don't know if I should come in because it's hard to judge. It's like looking at that airplane take off or land when you're right in front of it. It looks like it's kind of hovering, and where it's going very fast. It's an optical illusion, and that's the issue with playing center field is that is besides probably a pop up where the catcher has to throw down the mask and you have the ball that oftentimes has a backspin so it comes back different. Catching a catcher catching a pop-up in foul territory is very difficult. But I think that ball to center field that's hit right at you is besides being the catcher, catching that pop-up is the toughest play a defender in baseball has to make.
I'm with you. That is, and so many of them take the wrong cuts or turn the wrong way. I mean, that's a tough position because you got that first step is so important. And I just think some of these guys that's come up, they've been doing it all their lives, and now they're going to take O'Neal Cruz and stick him out center. It'll be quite a challenge, and I look forward to watching it this year. But he's got a heck of an arm. He overthrew the catcher from mid center field, threw it like 102 miles an hour in there, but he threw too much gas on it and went over the catcher's head. So it's going to be something to see with this year.
Now, I will say this: last year, for the first 3 weeks, Michael Bush could not pick a ball out of the dirt. It was frustrating to me. I was like, "What's wrong with this guy? Why can't he pick a ball out of the dirt?" Well, he's never played first base in his life. He's second and third baseman. But once he learned to scoop the ball, I'd say by May he was pretty good. By the end of the year, he was a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. I was surprised he didn't make one of the finalists, but he's got excellent footwork around the base, and he gets to a lot of balls because he is so athletic, and he's not this big lumbering first baseman. But he could not scoop the ball, the balls in the dirt for the first 3-4 weeks of the season, and then he got a little better, kind of perfected it. And then he's just like, wow, this guy's a great first baseman, the best defensive first baseman we've had since Rizzo. And we've had Rizzo, we've had Grace, we've had some really good defensive first basemen. And I think he's picking up that mantle. So what I'm saying is O'Neal Cruz, within 3 or 4 weeks, he's going to be Willie Mays. Don't worry about it.
Put the bet down.
When you play him, he will play like Willie Horton in center field. When we play him, he'll be good, and it'll be like Willie Mays. So, no offense to Willie Horton, who was a corner outfielder. He just wasn't known for speed and defense.
Yeah. Nobody was Willie Mays. He was the rarity.
Oh, what's going on with the Cardinals this week?
Well, it was great. Me and Brody went to opening day, had a blast. But Vince, opening day is supposed to...
Wait. Stop right there. We're going to show the video of you and Brody's opening day.
Ooh-wee. Vince, it's opening day. We're in a rain delay, and this is packed. We got people all the way down at the bottom. We're up at the top of the stadium. And as you can see, there are people as far as the eye can see, and it is a full house today, my friend. Well, Vince, the rain has ended. It's very chilly, and people are starting to come back into the ballpark. You can see the sky and the people lined up over there. They're playing the music loud. Ah! A lot of booze. Oh, they got it all there quick, didn't they?
Get him out of here. For the police escort, came and got him off the field.
Hey, Matt Holiday. Yeah! Woo! Great. Yeah. My coach worked for Fred Great Lakes. Is that Vince? Vince Coleman. Yeah. Yeah. He stole 110 bases his rookie year.
Oh my God.
John Tudor. Yeah.
World Series titles, Cardinals Hall of Famers, and Major League Baseball Hall of Famers.
Yes.
1971 MVP, playing for the Cardinals, Hall of Fame manager. Welcome back, Joe Torre.
Yeah.
The all-time winningest manager for the Cardinals. 11 playoff appearances, including 2 World Series championships and 4 National League pennants. Please welcome Tony La Russa.
Looks like you guys had a lot of fun.
Vince, it was great. It was raining. And all 3 games have been very rainy here in St. Louis, as you know. We've had a lot of storms and everything. Game was supposed to start at 3:15, so the festivities was going to start about 2. But Vince, all week we heard, well, they haven't sold hardly any. The tickets haven't been selling. We got there and we couldn't find parking. We drove all over. Finally, we went down to Big Daddy's, which is it's a restaurant tavern that we used to do comedy at. And they have a bus. And so me and Brody parked about 2 blocks away, got on the bus, and they drop you right off at the ballpark. Big Daddy's, fantastic. You want to be a sponsor, we're here for you. And we went in and we missed the Clydesdales. And it just started pouring, and everybody's huddled underneath any overhang in the bathrooms everywhere. Well, me and Brody made it up to our seats, and we sat with an older couple from Southern Illinois. The husband was a Cub fan. The wife was a Cardinal fan. I tried to get him to maybe cut a little promo. They said, "Oh, that's okay," And I said, "Okay," because they didn't really know me, but very nice people. And they take the Metro Link in from Southern Illinois and go to quite a few Cardinal games. And when the Cubs come, they come and see the Cardinals and Cubs. I just think that's great. So me and Brody talked to them for a little bit. We went up there and they had the big motorcade. That's a big thing in St. Louis. They had the motorcade with all the red jacket people. And I listened to see who gets the biggest ovation. And Matt Holliday got a big ovation. But I think out of the Hall of Famers, it was Jim Edmonds, because earlier in the year, he was an announcer. Now he's not. I think there were some hard feelings. But Jim came in for opening day. I think that was great. It was good to see him. Big standing ovation for Jim Edmonds. But by far, the biggest ovation was Ozzie Smith. And Ozzie is sort of our legendary star now. It wasn't long ago. We had Jack Buck and Mike Shannon and Red and Stan and Lou and Bob Gibson and Bruce Sutter and Whitey. And now all of those guys are gone. And Ozzie's now our senior legend. And he handles that very well. He's very classy. Well, then the players came out, and I think the biggest ovation may have been for Lars Newbar, very popular, and Nolan Arenado. All winter long, there was talk like our number 1, 2, and 3 goals was to trade Nolan Arenado. And it looked like he was going to leave at one time, but he's still here. I'm personally glad he's here. And big ovation, and later he said it meant a lot to him. And, okay, so here's 2 little caveats for you, Vince. The owner, the DeWitts, came out, and there was some booing, but I was there, and it just was a smattering of booing. I seen some older Cardinal fans standing and clapping and giving them ovations. Most people were sitting, and there was a few people booing. I would say out of 47,000 people were there. It wasn't overwhelming, but I could tell they heard it, and it probably surprised them. But then they showed this video clip, and they're going to introduce John Mozeliak, and they showed a video clip. Really, it's about the past 20 years. And it was really to show about the Cardinals. Every once in a while, Mozeliak would be in the video clip. They played music, and they said, John Mozeliak. Let's hear it from John Mozeliak. Boo. A lot of booing. And then they played this music really loud that kind of drowned out the booing. But Mozeliak got booed pretty good there. But it was just good to see baseball back. Willie McGee, who usually gets a big ovation, is no longer on the bench. He has moved up to special assistant to baseball operations. Basically, he's working with John Mozeliak in some capacity. It's always good to have Willie as a part of the team, but Willie was not there for opening day. I'm not sure what's going on, but we wish him well. I hope everything's going okay, Mr. McGee. And it was just a good game, Vince. We had Sonny Gray starting out the first game, and Vince, his fastball's not working. He throws about a 91, 92 mile an hour fastball now, but he used it to move the batter off the plate, maybe see if he would chase it, and he used his 4 other pitches, the cutter, the sinker, the sweeper, and the curve, and he went 5 innings, looked pretty good. Defense was outstanding, Vince. I'm so excited about our defense, and John Jay has worked with Vince Scott the second out there in center field, and Vince, he just looks like a different guy. He reminds me of PCA as when his first year he was kind of overwhelmed, and then last year he came up and he's got confidence and looks fantastic. And that's what Victor Scott's looking like. He's got confidence. He goes out there and just looks like I'm supposed to be here. Of course, Wynn and Arenado defensively, and Lars made a well, anyway, opening day was fun, and we got the victory. Our bullpen looked really good, and let me tell you, Helsley, good night. He looks like he's in mid-season form right now. So I have to say, I was really happy early going. Our defense, our bullpen, the depth of the team, we can rotate guys in there. So our bench looks good. And big kudos to John Jay working with the outfielders, because he sort of took over the Willie McGee role. And that young hitting coach, I got it written down here, Brant Brown.
Brant.
Is that his name, Brant Brown?
Brant. Yeah, Brant Brown.
I'll tell you what, their approach, Vince, last year we just struck out. They were really at bats that we just looked overwhelmed. And it looks like they're sort of choking up or battling. A lot of 8-9 pitch at bats, making those pitchers work, getting into their bullpens. It's kind of exciting, to tell you the truth. Let's see. So that was opening day. We got the win. We played the Twins. A lot of people are picking the Twins to win the Central and the American League, and they were very competitive games. The Twins could have won them all, except maybe one. We had a big lead in one of the games. But basically, we played really good, solid, consistent, fundamental baseball, and I was very, very proud of them. And we got the Twins. Thursday's game was 5-3. Saturday's was 5-1, and Fetty looked very good in that game. He went 6 innings. Sunday, we had Plante going and won 9-2. Of course, he had a lot of offensive help there. And then Monday, we played the Angels, and I think we let a couple of chances slip. The Angels stayed close, and they got us in 10 innings. So things like that's going to happen. You can't win them all. The first game was 47,000. I was really happy with that. But the second, third, and fourth games, Vince, we're just not drawing much attendance, but it has been bad weather. So I say let the weather get a little bit better. Let's see what happens. And with the team being a more competitive team, I think we'll have good crowds. I don't think it'll be sellouts, but I look for maybe an average of 38,000. I think that's doable, but we'll see. We'll see. The Twins didn't have Royce Lewis, who's one of my favorite American League players. So we had an advantage by them not having Royce Lewis. I was really taken away with Roycroft. He's about a 6'8" fireballer out of the bullpen. He looks good. I'm pretty happy with the whole bullpen, but Roycroft and Helsley, my goodness, they look fantastic. So that's where we're at as far as our season goes so far. 3-1. If you told me, Vince, at the beginning of the year, hey, would you take 3-1 at the beginning of the year? Heck yeah. I'd like to win them all, but we're competitive. That's the main thing right there. In other Cardinal news, Tinkins, our number 3 pitching prospect and 76 overall in the top 100, has been put on the IR with a right rib cage strain. And I think when Tink first we heard about him on the radar, he just jumped up through the ranks. And the last couple of years, he's starting to have some injuries. He's a very thin fella, kind of built like, say, a Pedro Martinez type of guy, very thin. So I hope this is just a few things he's going through. I know they're taking very good care of him because they don't want to take any chances. So hope Tink gets healthy, and I don't think he would be up this season anyway, Vince. We've got a couple of guys in line that would Graceffio and McCreevy are 2 guys that are in the minors that are kind of ahead of him in the depth chart, if somebody gets hurt or something like that. The Cardinals are doing this little thing when they get a hit or something good happens. They do this little, they used to do the pepper grinder. Now they're doing this little Cardinal fly thing. And you can tell like Arenado and Contreras are like, all right, there you go. But Lars Nootbaar and Victor Scott II are really getting into it. They have a lot of fun with it. Basically, I'm pretty happy right now. Contreras hasn't got a hit yet, but he's hit the ball hard a few times, striking it out a little too much, but he's Contreras. He'll be fine. And then the other is Mason Wynn. And both men have played great defense. I'm very happy with their defense, but Mason Wynn looks like he's kind of falling in love with the long ball, taking big swings and just looks overwhelmed. Now, last night he hit a ball pretty hard that if it got through, it would have tied the game in the 10th inning, but great play by their third baseman. He didn't get it, but maybe he's starting to turn this around a little bit. But we're pulling for him. We need him. And with those 2 guys not hitting, we're still doing pretty good. Vince, I'm going to do a little thing. I think I'm going to do this every week. You know how in hockey they have the 3 stars? And they say, in this game, these are our 3 stars. Well, for the week so far, these are our 3 stars. I'm going to go, our number 3rd star was Nolan Arenado. 3 walks, 2 Ks. He had 6 hits and 3 RBIs. And he is now tied with Evan Longoria in 9th place all time for third baseman's home runs. And anytime you get in the top 10 of any major league category, for the most part, that's a good thing. So he's number 9, and with the next home run, he'll have it to himself. That's pretty cool. My number 2 star is Victor Scott, just coming along great, making good defensive plays, pretty good arm in the outfield. He stole 3 bases and hit a home run. I don't expect a home run and 3 stolen bases already in a short season. That's fantastic. And then my number 1 star is Lars Nootbaar. 6 hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 walks, and only 1 K. And Lars is 27 now and been a part of the Cardinals for a while. And it's so good to see him become like one of the captains of the team. And they moved him to the leadoff, and he's really been getting the thing started, getting everything rolling. So that's my 3 stars, and I've enjoyed this so much so far, Vince. Not just the Cardinals, just having baseball back. So that's my Cardinal corner right there.
A couple of observations. I want to point out the Gray start and the Miles Michaelis start.
Oh, yeah.
Both players are on the backside of their careers. They're not overpowering anybody. And I know the Twins are scuffling right now, and it's only 1 start, but both of them pitched good games. They, not trying to pick on the guy, but last year I couldn't wait when the Cubs played the Cardinals for Adam Wainwright to take the mound. He just could not figure it out how to go from the high fastball to overpower people and the big curveball to a fastball that wasn't overpowering anybody. And when it's sitting at the top of the zone and it's not going 96 and it's going 88, you just lay off of it.
Yeah.
It's you got a lot of time to see it. But I thought Gray and Michaelis, who should have got the win yesterday, I thought they pitched really good. And they appear to have transitioned into knowing how to pitch with their stuff. and that's a hard transition to make. I remember, I don't remember which year, and I should have looked this up, but Andy Bennis was sitting at home and told LaRussa, Jockety, hey, if you need me, I'm in good shape. And he clearly lost his fastball, was not the overpowering pitcher, but they brought him back in the season and he pitched great down the stretch because he had learned how to pitch as opposed to try to blow the ball by everybody. And if you can make that transition, you can pitch a little longer. And that's, I was talking about Seaver made that transition. Some players can, most can't. They just lose their stuff and it's time to retire. So I know, you can't judge by one start for each one of them, but the jury's still out of it. But I was impressed with their starts, that they were competitive when their stuff is diminished with age. The second thing, the catch on opening day that Victor Scott made near the wall was a fantastic catch. And if you go back and you watch the replay, he got a great jump. He took the best route to the ball, straight route to the ball. That looked like a great center fielder. So I'm very excited over the next few years how we're going to have these two great center fielders. I'm not talking about O'Neill Cruz at this time. Two great center fielders in the division, rival center fielders who kind of have the same kind of game. So
You're right.
that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Vince, both of those guys, if they hit a normal ball, a grounder to second, both of those guys almost leg it out. They're just extremely fast and so entertaining to watch. I'm with you. PCA and Victor Scott's it's gonna be a blast watching them two play.
Yeah. Well, let me get into Cub news. Switching papers.
Uh-huh.
Makes it look official. I got a
I
second.
try to do it on the side over here, so I try not to have people notice.
Of course, we played the first two games in Japan about a week and a half before the season started, and we were 0-2 to the Los Angeles Filthy people, and they still haven't lost, so whatever. So anyway, so Thursday we're in Phoenix playing Arizona. Their opening day, our third game. We won that game 10-6. Hap had a good start, had a couple of hits, including a home run. Tucker drove in a run. Bush had a couple of hits. Horner had a couple of hits. And Amaya had 2 doubles and drove in 5 runs. So Amaya, his first 3 hits of the year have been doubles at this point. And he had 6 RBIs, so very good start to the season. PCA stole a base in that game. The pitching was not that great. Steele started 5 innings of grinding it out, 6 hits, 3 runs, only 2 strikeouts, but only 1 walk. But he did get the victory. And Pearson came in and gave up a couple of runs. Presley came in at the game and did not look sharp. Thielbar and Hodge look sharp, but I'm going to get into the bullpen pretty soon. So we start off the season in 1-2, and then Friday we lost 8-1, and that doesn't bother me. This happens. The only real highlight is no real highlights. PCA got a hit, Swanson got a hit, and Suzuki got a hit. That's all we had. But PCA did drive in a run. Tyone, 4 1/3 innings, pitched 6 runs, did not look good. And then he gave it up to the bullpen, and we lost 8-1. Now, that doesn't bother me so much. Those things happen. That's just baseball. Saturday, we went 4-3, so I'm very happy about that. On Saturday's game, Tucker went 3 for 4 with a home run. Bush 2 for 3. Amaya 1 for 4. He hit another double. So his first 4 hits of the year are doubles. Drove in another run. So he's hot. Workman started at third base, and they brought in Shaw to pinch hit, and Shaw hit a home run, his first major league home run. Very good. PCA had an outfield assist, and Imanaga pitched 7 innings, only gave up a run. In 2 starts this year, he has an ERA of 0.82, so Imanaga's looking good. We had a 4-1 lead going into the ninth. Presley came in, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, and the only reason that we got out of there without the game being tied is because there was a ball hit to Swanson, who was going to get the ball, and you had a runner on third that was going to run to home. And instead of Swanson throwing the ball, he ran at the guy on third and tagged him out to end the game. And Swanson was saying how he envisions these kind of scenarios in his head all the time. So when it happens, he's ready for it. And he makes very few bad defensive decisions. I mean, everything he does is doing it the right way. I'm so impressed with this defense.
That's a veteran move right there. Very good play.
He bailed out Presley. Presley did get the save. And I'm sure after the game, Presley went up and said, thank you very much. So this is the game that infuriated me, Sunday's game. We've won 2 out of 3 in Arizona. Very tough place to play. If we lose this game, I'm okay with it, because a split in Arizona, a very good team, I'm happy with. We are cruising. We are up 6-2 in the 8th. Suzuki was 2 for 4 with a home run. Tucker 1 for 4, a 3-run shot. Swanson 2 for 4 with a home run. PCA had his second outfield assist of the season, second in 2 days, when he nails Eugenio Suarez at home. So we were up 6-2 in the 8th inning. And this is what agitates me. Boyd pitched 5 innings of shutout ball, which is very good. We got him from Detroit. We paid some decent money for him, and he looks really good.
I like
we bring
him.
in Nate Pearson, 1 1/3 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs. We bring in Tealbar. Tealbar pitches 2/3 of an inning to bail out Pearson, but then when he comes in the 8th, we're up 6-2. He walks the first 2 batters. That drives me bananas, especially being we have decided that we are going to go with veterans because they're more trustworthy. Veterans who don't throw hard, who are going to give up a lot of contact because they're not young spring chickens anymore. Tealbar is easy to hit. And I'm not saying he's easy to get hits off of. He's easy to put the bat on the ball. So when he starts off by walking the first 2 hitters, and we're up 6-2, and I'm already like, oh, this is going to be bad. Eli Morgan comes in, 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits, 6 runs, or 8 runs, but 2 of the runs were charged to Tealbar. So they scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th to take a 10-6 lead, and we lost. Cub fans were furious. I was furious. And I'll tell you why we are furious, because we, for 2 straight years, lost playoffs in the early part of the season because we fiddled around with the bullpen, trying to go with the Hector Neris's of the world and the people with all this experience. I want to tell you something. I don't care how much experience you got. If you can't get people out, you don't deserve to be in there. We have Luke Little starting the year in the minor leagues. Is he going to walk a few people? Yes. But you want to know what? As opposed to Tealbar, when Luke Little throws the ball over the plate, he's hard to hit. So he can walk a few guys and still strike people out. We traded Hunter Biggie to the Rays, who wasn't going to make the Rays, but he was on their opening day staff, and he's pitching good. He saved games for us last year. We have Palencia in the minors, who throws 100 miles an hour. We have Cade Horton in the minors. We have Caleb Killiam in the minors. We have guys in the minors who are younger, but man, they are hard to hit. But instead, we're putting these old people like Tealbar, Eli Morgan. We got Presley as our closer, whose fastball is 92. I'm sorry, this isn't Houston 3-4 years ago. This is the Cubs now, and he's not the closer. And if we fiddle fart around like we did with Neris until July, and then that's when, he hasn't pitched well all year, maybe we'll move on from him. Well, it was too late. We had buried ourselves. Don't let the bullpen bury us early again. Tealbar, Morgan, Pearson, if they go into the end of April not pitching well, get rid of them, bring up the young guys with the strong arms because they can do the job. How many times have we seen bullpens with World Series winners have all these young studs come in and throw hard without experience? And look at the Rangers a few years ago. The guy who closed out the World Series games had 4 saves during the season.
That's true.
He was throwing hard. He was pitching well. Bring him in. I'm sick and tired of this old school mind. I would rather have experience. I would rather have talent. Because if you're Tealbar, and I'm picking on him because he's the one who started the whole fiasco with the 2 walks, and you don't have swing and miss stuff, you better throw the damn ball over the plate. Because when you just give them free passes, you just let them in. And when you have a lead late in the game, walk a guy, okay, it happens. You walk 2 batters, and they weren't even close to getting on to they weren't even competitive pitches. You walk 2 batters, you were just opening the door. And when we didn't have a player to bring in who could swing, who had swing and miss stuff, they were just teeing off on us. So I went to bed Sunday mad because 2 out of 4, big picture, 2 out of 4 in Arizona, I'm happy with. But this is one of those losses, like last year we had the 8-run lead against the Padres and we lost because the bullpen sucked then. This is one of those losses that could be defining. And I don't want them to wait until June 15th, July, August to fix the bullpen. Fix it now. These games count now. So let's get to the happy news.
All right.
Last night, we went to Sacramento and played the Athletics. The Sacramento Athletics? No. The Oakland Athletics? No. Las Vegas Athletics? No, they're just the Athletics. But they weren't very athletic last night. We won 18-3. Kyle Tucker, 4 for 7, 3 RBIs, home runs. Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Michael Bush, 3 for 6 with a home run, 4 RBIs. Swanson, 2 for 5 with a home run, RBI. Nico Horner, 3 for 4. A couple runs scored. PCA, 2 for 5. But the biggest news was Carson Kelly hit for the cycle.
I did not know that. All right, Carson Kelly.
The first cycle that the Cubs have had since 1993, the first since Mark Grace. He hit a home run in his first at bat, and then he hit a single, and then he hit the double off the top of the wall. So I thought it was going to be a home run, but it hit right off the top. They reviewed it. Yeah, so he had a double. So he's 3 for 3 with a single, double, home run. And
the triple's the hardest.
Taylor McGregor said, I wonder how many people have just needed the triple just on the Cubs since the last cycle, which was 1993. I wonder how many Cubs players have just needed the triple and didn't get it. It was like 260. So, yeah, so Kelly's up. He's a catcher. He's not going to hit a triple, okay? At least so I thought. He hit the ball to right center, off the wall, bounced off the wall, bounced away from the center field. I'm thinking, run, go. And they're up like 17-3 at this time. And Boog and Jim DeShays are just yelling, keep going, keep running, keep running, keep running. He got the third. Yeah, I mean, just chugging to third, gets in there.
Needed
He
oxygen.
has the biggest smile on his face. It's like, oh my gosh. He hit for the cycle. And I want to tell you, our two catchers this year have 11 RBIs in 7 games.
Last year wasn't so. It wasn't that way.
No. So if we get the production at the bottom of the lineup, we're going to have a much better team.
Yes,
So it was a fun game to watch. Ben Brown pitched 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts. Did fine. It's what you expect out of your 5th starter, but Max sent me a text, said he's got the best stuff on the starting staff, and he certainly does. He can be a number 1 if he puts it all together, and I like that they're starting him at the back of the rotation, letting him be a 5th starter, and you can have a 5th starter make some mistakes. That's what you expect, but I certainly expect him to keep getting better and better and better. He's the guy that I every time I see him, Adam Wainwright in his prime, high fastball with a hook, 12 just devastating. Colin Ray pitched the last 3 innings, gave up no runs, and Colin Ray got the save. I always like these people who get a save in a blowout because they pitched 3 innings of effective ball. So we went 3-2 this week, but let me tell you, this is our bullpen. Every aspect of this team has looked great. The starting pitching has looked very good. The defense has been excellent. The hitting has been excellent. They're throwing to the right bases. They're making the right decisions. The reason that they are 3-4 instead of a couple more wins is because of the bullpen. So far this season, the bullpen has thrown 24 innings, given up 33 hits, 19 earned runs, 16 walks in 24 innings, 19 Ks. It's not even a strikeout an inning. That's because we've got a lot of old people who don't strike people out, for a 7.13 ERA. We cannot be competitive with a bullpen like that. Now, if you take out Porter Hodge, Colin Ray, and Julian Merriweather, they've been affected. The rest of the bullpen, without those 3, 15 and 2/3 innings pitched, 19 earned runs. So all the earned runs have been given up by everybody but Hodge, Ray, and Merriweather. 13 walks, only 13 strikeouts, and a 10.91 ERA. That's why I ranted, do not wait until it's too late to fix this bullpen. If they put it together over the next few weeks, fine. It irons itself out fine. If they don't, cut him. I don't care if he's 35 or Presley's 38 and he's pitched World Series games. Get rid of him. It's more important to me as a fan that we have the most competitive team out there and not show loyalty to somebody because he's old and at one time was really good. And this is coming from an old man. So,
that's right.
One more thing I do want to bring up. I have had the privilege of watching Kyle Tucker. Now, for the first time, I've really paid attention to him. This guy is excellent. He puts the bat on the ball. He hits to all fields. He takes his walks, and he has some devastating swings. He puts the bat on the ball with authority. I think I'm not saying he's going to win the MVP. If we win the division, he's going to be the reason we do. I can see him doing 35 to 40 home runs this year. I don't see him going into huge slumps like, for instance, Bellinger, who he's taken the place of. Defensively, he is excellent. There's a reason he's a Gold Glover. He is the best player we have had since Bryant's second year when he won his MVP. And I'm saying that after only 7 games. I had no idea how good he was because watch Houston, and sometimes, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. Um, but man, I've been watching him close, and this guy is going to break the bank, and I hope it's with the Cubs because I'm not saying he's as good as a hitter as Juan Soto. He's right on his heels, though. I cannot believe how he has went under my radar so much. So that's it for Cub news. And one more thing that has went under my radar, Jeremy Connors went under my radar.
That's right.
Comes a time in every man's life when he needs some advice on relationships. You need to listen to the podcast DMDR, which stands for Dating, Marriage, Divorce, Remarriage, from my good friend Jeremy Connor, the Dr. Phil of the Boot Hill. You can find DMDR on Spotify or whatever platform you choose to listen to your podcast. All right. Well, it's that time of the year that we make our predictions. JJ, do you want to start with the predictions for the playoffs and the divisions and then finish with the awards, or?
Sure. Okay. Vince, they changed the rules so much. It's 7 teams that go, right? There's 6 that play, and there's 1 team that gets a bye. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Do I remember? Okay, remember that correctly. Would you like me to start with the American League or the National League?
Start with the American League.
Okay, the American League. I'll start out in the West. I don't know if you want me to do the West and you talk about the West, but I have the West being Texas. I am in love with this team, Vince. I think they've got it all. They got veterans, they got young guys. Wyatt Langford, I think is. Oh, go ahead.
I misunderstood you. There's the 3 division winners. There's the 3 wild card winners. And the top 2 division winners, record-wise, they get the bye. And if you win your division and you're the 3rd best record, then you play that first round against one of the wild card teams. So
I see. All right. Well,
there's over 6 in each league.
Well, in the West, I'm taking Texas Rangers. I'm really big on them this year. I say that about every week. I got the Mariners going second place, Vince. I got the Mariners in second. And I think the Houston has just lost too much, and they've got a lot of hope and a lot of young guys. And I just think they're a weaker team, and they're not the same Astros that have dominated for a long, long time. Oakland A's, and then I got the California Angels. And in this division, I have Texas and Seattle making the playoffs over there.
You are almost right. I have Seattle winning the division and Texas coming in second, and both of them making the playoffs. And then I have Houston 3rd, Oakland 4th, and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever they're called these days,
Yes.
in last place. So we're pretty close. We got the same 2 playoff teams. We just flip-flopped.
Flip-flopping.
Very good.
And then in the Central, Vince, I know you lived out in Kansas City. I've made some trips out there. I like this team. I like the makeup of them. And with Bobby Witt Jr. at the top of that lineup, and now India over there, Cole Reagan pitching, and I just think they're the class of the division myself. So I took Kansas City to win that division. Detroit. This is going to be a tough division. I think it's going to come down to the wire. But I got the 2 top teams over there being Kansas City and Detroit. I think Cleveland's lost a lot. Now, somehow they have like that Milwaukee magic where they bring up somebody and just plug them in and they play great. But I think the Guardians will be 3rd place, followed by Minnesota. And I think the White Sox will be better, but I think they're way behind the other 4 teams. And in this division, I have the Royals and the Tigers making the playoffs.
You're almost right.
Oh!
I also have the Royals winning this division. I have Detroit coming in second, but I do not have Detroit as one of the wild card teams.
Oh.
And then I have Cleveland, like you, Minnesota, and Chicago. So, wow, great minds. Great minds.
Right.
By the way, I didn't mention this. If I dressed like this in Chicago, I'd get shot with a Cub hat and a White Sox jersey. Just letting you know
Hey,
that.
I think you're open-minded. You pull for the city right there. I think that's a good thing myself. But yeah, they probably wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah.
The most fan bases there. In the East, Vince, I like the young players for the Red Sox. And I think they made some good trades. I think their pitching staff is going to be really good. So I take the Red Sox with the Yankees being still very good, but the Red Sox and the Yankees battling it out. And I tell you what, baseball's always the best when you get the Red Sox and the Yankees battling down the stretch. I think that's going to be such a fun time. And I have the Orioles not quite making the playoffs unless they make a trade and get some pitching over there. I just think that's going to be their bugaboo. And so I have the Baltimore Orioles finishing third, Toronto Blue Jays fourth, and Tampa Bay. I don't see them too far back, but I see them finishing last in that division.
See, I think this was the toughest division because I can make an argument for any team,
Oh,
and
that's right.
as you could too. I've got the Yankees at the head of that because I do think that they are the best team, and I do think that they have enough trade chips that if they need to make something happen at the deadline, they're going to be able to do that. I do like Baltimore, and Baltimore, they have trade chips too. So if they need to make a move to get a pitcher, they can do that. So I've got New York, Baltimore, then I have Toronto coming in third. And I like Toronto. They've underperformed the last few years. And I'm just thinking with Guerrero and Bo Bichette both in contract walk years, um, they're going to be they're gonna be motivated. Um, I have Tampa coming in fourth, and I was going to put them last with the Red Sox ahead of them. But I think Tampa, for the first time, is going to have a more distinct home field advantage because I watched the game where they played the Rockies, their opening game. I think they opened on Friday instead of everybody else opened on Thursday. So I watched that game, and that Steinbrenner Field holds like 10, 11,000, and I think they're going to pack it. And the fans looked excited. So um, I just think that there's going to be a little more excitement than how this team wins in that terrible environment where fans just seem to not care. I don't know. But then I have Boston coming in last, and I could see Boston coming in last, still winning 84, 85 games. Whatever team comes in last, I can still see them above 500. It's a stacked division. They're all very good. They all made themselves um, uh, well, Boston made themselves a little bit better. Tampa, I think, has made themselves a little bit better. Um, and I just think that New York, Baltimore, and Toronto are all going to represent that division in the playoffs.
Vince, one of the big chips, I think, is Sandy Alcantara. I think if one of these teams gets Sandy Alcantara, they're going to kind of move ahead of the others. I think he's a big piece, an ace. If he goes on one of these teams, look out. So, to me, during the trading deadline, up to the trade deadline, I think that's going to be a big story right there. Who's going to get Sandy Alcantara? Because the Marlins are known for moving their talent, you know.
Yeah. So that's the American League.
All right, over in the National League West, surprise, surprise, the Dodgers. And Vince, I mean, they are the evil empire right now. That team is so good. They have two pitching staffs they could throw out there. Their bench is fantastic. What else can you say about them? But I think Arizona has improved themselves. I think Arizona is going to creep up on them and give them a run. I don't know. They might be 12 games back, but that's pretty good compared to the Dodgers. But I think Arizona is going to be a better team. And then I go Giants. I like their veterans. I don't know so much about their bullpen and their bench. But then I'm going to Padres. A lot of people are big Padre fans, but I think they're about they've lost so much talent, and the ownership is in disarray right now. I don't know if they're going to get all that squared away. And of course, I love Schilt over there. And then the Rockies in fifth place. So that's my choices.
You are completely right.
Hey, all
I
right.
have the Dodgers winning the division going away. And then I have Arizona, San Francisco, San Diego, and Colorado. None of them other teams in the West I have going to the playoffs because each one of those teams have to play the Dodgers 13 times. And that's going to really affect them. Arizona, I saw them. I saw 3 of the 4 games, then I saw the highlights of the other game. They don't catch the ball very well. I was surprised at how porous their defense was. And that's one of the things that, they had a high fielding percentage last year, but when you look beyond the percentage, the peripherals, they don't get to a whole lot of balls that other teams get to. So I think that's going to harm them. I think San Francisco, Logan Webb, if he has a great season, he can carry them. But they're kind of a mystery team. Adames is on the team now. Chapman is a great third baseman. So I like the left side of the infield. Um, I like the Giants. I think you're right on San Diego. I think they're on the way down, and I could see a scenario where at the trade deadline they're gonna move some people. And Colorado is a really good Double-A team.
That's nice of you to say. Yeah, poor Rockies. Well, Vince, we're to the Central now, and I'm going to say this. Here's some Cub love. I just think you guys are talented in every aspect of the game. Your bullpen. Okay, first of all, you're starting 5. I think your 6 and 7 starters, your guys that could come in and be a part of your pitching staff, is better than the rest of our probably 4th and 5th starters. And that's a recipe there with your defense, the hitting. That you got a nice combination of speed and power. You guys have already stolen 6 bases in 7 games. You got a lot of speed on that team. You got balanced with good power. Put the bat on the ball. I'm impressed. The bullpen's the only thing, and it sounds like you guys have a lot of guys by the end of the season that we're going to see up in that bullpen. So I put the Cubs. I think easily winning the division. I think the Reds have a lot of talent on their team. I don't know if they've been in really any pennant drives or anything like that, and their bench is the problem. I think they're going to wear out their starters if they run them out there, but they've got a better coach now. And I just think him being there and that talent on their starting 9 and their rotation, because they have some very talented pitchers, I could see them finishing 2nd place. But I don't think I could see them being 7, 8 games back. Milwaukee, I think they just lost too much. And I'm not saying that because they're starting out the season 0-4 either. I just kind of thought they were talent-wise a little inferior to the Cubs and the Reds. But they are a very good team. They got talent. And then I see us, the Cardinals, in 4th. Young, making strides to be better. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be rookie mistakes and young player mistakes. And this is if we stay healthy, I could see us in 4th place. And then the Pirates, I see them. They've got some stud pitchers. I think the end of their bullpen is not as Bedard, who I just thought was incredible 2 or 3 years ago for about a couple of years. He doesn't look anywhere near how he used to be. I think their bullpen and their defense is going to let them down a little bit. So I see the Pirates finishing in last place.
You are exactly right.
I'm a National League guy.
I know. I've been saying all winter long, no, the Cubs are not going to win this division. If we stay healthy, and we get the bullpen ironed out, which we have the last 2 years, they just waited too long to iron it out. I hope they've learned their lesson. And I'm not saying throw out the veterans right now. I'm saying if this lingers a few more weeks, don't wait for it anymore, because we do have hard throwers in AAA who can come up and contribute, who have contributed before. So very excited about that. I've got Cincinnati in second place, and I do have Cincinnati making the playoffs. I have them as the wild card team over Arizona. Um, I have Milwaukee third place, the Cardinals fourth, and Pittsburgh last. And Pittsburgh, the top two starters are really good. But would they play the Marlins the first game? And the Marlins had a good recipe for Skeens. Uh, just foul them off, get the pitch count up, get them out by the fourth and fifth inning. And that's what teams are going to have to do: shorten up their swings, foul, try to pick out a pitch. You know, if you can see 6, 7 pitches in a bat, one of them is going to be hittable. Just battle until you get your pitch. Um, so I think now that there's a little bit of a book on Skeens, it's not going to be so easy. Still a great pitcher. Everybody's still going to have their hands full with him, but there is a blueprint on how to get him out of a game if you can get some foul balls. So that's how I have the Central.
Well, out in the East, I see this as a three-way dogfight, and Vince, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot like the East over in the American League. If and of course, I think it's going to come down to health because all these teams have talent. I just think the Braves, although I don't know if their pitching is going to be as good as it has been, but they've got a lot of young arms too. I just see that starting lineup for the Braves. They're fantastic, and they were hurt last year. I think I love their coach. I'm taking Atlanta over in that division, but it's going to be tight. I think it's going to come down to the final couple of weeks. I see the Mets finishing second place. That's going to be fun. And then the Phillies, you know, Vince, they're getting a little older. They're getting a little older. When you get a little older, you got a little more injuries. I could see some injuries happening over there. But if they stay healthy, it's going to be a 3-team race right there. But I go Braves, Mets, Phillies with all three making the playoffs. Then a big drop down to the Nationals, who are improving. And then last place, the Marlins. And Vince, poor Florida, their fans, every time they get a star, seems like they keep them around a little while and then they just move them. It's hard to be devoted to a team when you're constantly changing your roster. But the Marlins have some good young players over there, and I see them getting better, but they're a fifth-place team right now.
With the Marlins, when they won the World Series in '98, was it their first World Series?
First one?
Yeah. And they had that great Wayne Huizinga was their owner at that time. They put together this super talented roster with a great manager in Jim Leland. Won the World Series. After the World Series, what did he do? He tore it apart. There's a reason why the Miami fans do not trust every ownership group they've had, and it's really screwed them. So when you had that momentum of that first World Series and crowds were good in the Orange Bowl where it was hot, when you built the new state, this should be a model franchise. Then they won the World Series again in 2003. That team, it wasn't sold off, but that team kind of fizzled out. Their stars were gone within a few years. With the big one, they traded Miguel Cabrera and the pitcher Dontrell Willis. They traded them off to Detroit, and I don't blame the fans for not going because it's been poorly managed since then. And I'm including Derek Jeter because he was part of the last ownership group, and I think it was his idea to take out the fish tank, which really irks me because
I love the fish tank.
That was the coolest thing of the stadium. And even though I made fun of it, the statue, I miss that. Now it just looks like a bland stadium. It does.
It sure does.
The fish tank, at least it had some character.
Yeah.
But without Latino community and how rabid they are for baseball in that area, there's no reason this team should not draw unless it's bad ownership and they've made every wrong turn they can. And that's exactly what's happened. They've shot themselves in the foot. And I don't know, the only way they're going to recover is if they get a new ownership group in there that has a lot of money, that's like a Cohen who says, hey, we're all in it to win it, baby. And it's on my buck. Just come and watch the Stars play.
Yeah.
So, but I have them in last place. So let me go to my picks. I've got the Phillies winning the division with
Okay.
Atlanta and New York. And it's kind of like you could put three in a bag and shake it up and pull out, any one of them can win it. So I had to pick up somebody. So I kind of like the Phillies, Atlanta, and New York, and they will all three be playoff teams. Washington, uh, they're moving in the right direction with their talent, and I really hope that they become competitive again because Washington has proven when they're competitive, it's a great baseball town.
I
And
agree.
I like the stadium. A lot of people don't like the stadium. I like the stadium. It's exciting. It's Philly Stadium. I like it when the Phillies are good because the stadium's rocking. When the Nationals were good, the stadium was rocking. And people don't I don't know if they realize it because most people aren't baseball historians. Washington, when they had the Senators, were perpetually terrible. I don't know if they did they ever win a World Series. I know no Walter Johnson was an old man before they ever made a World Series.
Oh yeah, he was an old man. Yeah, they did win one, but he was like in his 21st season, I think, when he won it or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But they've had a long history of, terrible baseball. So when the Expos went over there, I just kind of got, all right, I like a team in Montreal, but put it in Washington. And then when they became good, um, the fans came out. So who do you got in the World Series?
Well, Vince, I kind of break it down to the championship series. In the
I could do
American
that.
League, I have is if it's okay, Texas Rangers and the Red Sox, and I have Texas going to the World Series. And the National League, I have the Dodgers and Atlanta playing with the Dodgers going to the World Series. So that's my matchups. I like their pitching staffs, but I don't think anybody's beating the Dodgers. And of course, with me saying that, I have Texas and the Dodgers playing each other, and I think Texas is going to give them everything they got. But it'll probably go 5 games with the Dodgers winning it again this year.
Oh, JJ, I was in college and I had to write this paper on the Great Leap Forward, which was a terrible point in Chinese history where Mao tried to do all these great things and they just kept backfiring and kept shooting themselves in the foot. I turned in one of my test papers and I'd written this long thing and I thought it was a beautiful answer. And then when I got the paper back, um, he put on my thing, "You are wrong."
Oh,
Just no explanation. Right? You are wrong. And
that's not fair.
yeah, so as my professor told me, I'm telling you the same thing. You are wrong.
Oh no.
I did go up and tell him I am not wrong, and I, I, man, I laid out everything. We have different views on this, but your
Yeah,
view isn't any more right than mine. And
I agree.
he wouldn't bend though. So, but anyway, I have Atlanta winning the World Series, and I have them beating Toronto.
Really?
Yeah.
That I tell you what, I played it safe. You went out there and I think that's great. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun World Series right there.
Well, I just looked at the few teams that can win the World Series,
Yeah.
and I picked the teams that I hate the least. I don't want the
Oh,
Dodgers to win the World Series.
I
Well,
know.
good. I don't want the Mets to win the World Series or the Phillies. They're not my favorite team. I don't have anything against Atlanta. Put Atlanta in the World Series, and I have nothing
You know,
against Toronto. So let's.
Vince, Dodgers won it last year, but they barely got by the Padres. They just scraped by the Padres, so it's hard to win a World Series.
It's
On
very
paper, they look great, but they got a lot. It's a minefield to go through to get there and win the thing. So it'll be fun.
yeah.
I hope you're
Yes.
right.
Oh well, who do you got winning the MVPs?
The MVPs, I have, of course, this part of the country, we got Bobby Witt Jr. fever. And I just think shortstop, he's the star of that team. If the Royals win that division, he is probably going to be a bigger reason as anybody. So I put Bobby Witt Jr. He can do it all.
Great minds. I have Bobby Wood Jr. winning the MVP in the American
So I'm
League.
not wrong on that one.
No. Who do you have in the National League?
In the National League, Vince, I said this and I said it with a smile on my face. I think Tucker from the Cubs. I think Tucker. I got him going right over Soto. I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think Tucker's the man. Vince, I'm with you. I've only seen him in the playoffs. I would catch him a game here and there, but when he was like a rookie, I was so amazed at how poised he was. He was like a veteran when he in his rookie year and a big part of that lineup. And he has just gotten better and better. He had an injury last year, but if he stays healthy, I think it's going to be your right fielder, Tucker.
I considered Kyle Tucker. I considered Soto, but I just don't see anybody dethroning Ohtani, especially if he's going to pitch a little bit this year.
Yeah. I worry about his arm. He's had 2 Tommy Johns. If he goes out there and pitches, he could get injured again. That's the thing. I worry about him and that arm. That could really side rail him. I think he's too valuable to have him out there pitching anymore.
Yeah,
That's me.
It's what he wants to do. When you get
Yeah.
$700 million,
I guess he can do whatever he wants.
Who do you got for the Cy Young winners?
Well, I'm sticking with Kansas City. I'm going with Reagan. Says
I did too.
Vince, he's an older pitcher, but I think he's at the top of his game as far as mental and physical. At the same time, with that defense and that team getting better, I just see him. This is his year. This is going to be his year. So I'm excited to watch the Royals play this year. And over in the National League, this is one of my favorite players, and I think it's more I wish this to happen than I think it'll happen. But Arizona's Corbin Burns, I think he's on a new team. That team's electric, and he's the ace of the team, and I think he's going to stand out on that rotation. A lot of these big teams, you'll have 2 or 3 guys that you'll kind of notice, but maybe one a little bit more than the other. But I think Burns is going to stand out big time over in Arizona.
Well, like I said, I have Reagan's in the American League, and in the National League, I have Miles Michaelis. Oh, hold on.
You did not.
I meant Paul Skeens.
April Fools.
Miles Michaelis and Paul Skeens, their names look so much alike, but I went the safe route. I think Skeens is going to win it again. I think he's a generational pitcher who's going to take home a few of those awards.
That'd be good for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So, Rookie of the Year.
All right. I am big on this kid over in the American League. New York Yankees left fielder Jason Dominguez, the Martian. He's already got a great nickname. And the media on the coast, for some reason, they kind of forget we're here in the middle of the country. But Jason Dominguez, I just think that kid on that lineup, he's just going to, with all that talent around him, I think he'll be Rookie of the Year. And over in the National League, I have a bugaboo about a lot of these veterans playing in other leagues coming over here and they're being rookies. But Sasaki from the Dodgers, he's on that team with that bullpen. And I think he's just going to put up too big of numbers for anybody else to match. That's what I think.
I'll start with Sasaki. I do not like a guy pitching poorly and then coming into the dugout and crying.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Heck. Oh yeah, he was crying.
Oh.
That makes me question his mental toughness. It really does. It's like, I know you're young, you're 23, but geez, you've had to have lost a game before. You've had to have gotten hit hard before. There's an adjustment. Kota Senga had to go through an adjustment. Yamamoto had to go through an adjustment. You don't see guys coming over like Hideo Nomo anymore and just dominating. There's a bit of an adjustment period, and I was kind of like, yeah, look at the video. I'm thinking, that's weird.
You
Um,
don't see that much.
are your emotions that fragile? Yeah, you do what a man would do, go into the clubhouse and tear everything apart when there's no one else around.
And
Don't,
take it back to the water cooler like
yeah,
everybody else.
be normal, dude. So in the American League, I really like. I saw him last night, and I've heard a lot about him. And I liked his dad, Jack Wilson, as a player when he played for the Pirates. Jacob Wilson for the A's, contact hitter. Um, he reminds me, uh, hitting wise, a lot of like Nico Horner, a contact type hitter. Um, and I think he's going to get a lot of playing time out there. And I just he hit his first home run, major league home run last night. He's got a good swing. He's not going to hit 30 home runs, but I can see him getting a double digit. But I just see him as a really good player and a guy who puts the bat on the ball and a great defender. National League, I really just by default said Matt Shaw because
Okay.
it's not a bumper year for rookies in the National League. It's not like Paul Skeens is coming up. Everybody knew he's going to dominate. It's like very good players are coming that are going to be rookies, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably going to be someone we've never heard of, you know. But I thought, might as well pick Matt Shaw. So Matt Shaw.
All right. How about that? That's good.
Oh, you ready to open up baseball cards?
Let's do baseball cards.
I have score series one. I think it's 89 or so.
89. I'm going to say one Hall of Famer. And Vince, I'm opening up. My second one I've opened up on here. Series 1 Tops 2025 with Aaron Judge on the front. Now there's 59 cards in here. This is all I was without a pack of cards, so I ran out last night and got this. This is all they had at Walmart. So I'll probably just grab the top 12 cards and show those.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and go first, being I have old cards. And I'm going to say no Hall of Famers because I'm in a pessimistic mood. Oh, come on now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Former Cubs center fielder, Rookie of the Year, Jerome Walton.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was going to be a big star. He had a nice career. Oh, good pitcher.
Yeah.
I like that picture in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. He never quite captured that when he had that rookie year, but he had a good career. Oh, for the Pirates, former Met, former World Series champion, Wally Backman.
Oh, yeah. He made Cardinals' life hell. Him and Dykstra getting on base all the time.
For the Indians, right fielder, former #1 draft pick, and he had some pretty good years. Let me see. Yeah, it's usually in the 20 home runs. We have Mr. Corey Snyder.
Oh, yeah. Nice career.
Good looking guy, too. Oh, from the Dodgers, relief pitcher who got kicked out of the playoff games in '88 for doctoring the ball. Well, he had substance on him. Jay Howell.
Jay, I don't remember that story, Vince.
Yeah, it was the Dodgers were up and Howell was pitching, and then Davey Johnson went to the umpire and told them, hey, he's got some substance. They did an inspection. He did. They took him out of the game. And that was kind of the turning point where the Mets or the Dodgers beat the Mets in the playoffs that year.
How about that?
Rookie prospect for the Royals, now a guy who's probably 50 years old, Jeff Schultz. Do not remember him?
Don't remember him. No.
Oh, rookie prospect for the Red Sox, right-handed pitcher, Darryl Irvine, and I don't remember anything about him either.
Ooh, I don't either, Vince.
Another rookie prospect for the Indians. Never heard of this guy either. Bo Allred.
Vince, I've lost memory. I don't remember remember any of these guys.
Another rookie prospect for the Padres outfielder that I've never heard of in my life, Thomas Howard.
I do remember Thomas Howard. I remember him on a Padre. I have a Padre card of him.
Don't remember him.
I only know the name. I couldn't tell you a thing about him.
First baseman outfielder Jack Doherty with the Rangers.
No.
Don't remember him. Oh my gosh, I got a Hall of Famer, but this guy should not be in the Hall of Fame, even though I like him.
Harold Baines?
Harold Baines.
Yeah, Harold Baines. I think Tony was on the Veterans Committee, and he played for Tony.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
For the Dodgers, relief pitcher, also pitched for the Angels and the Orioles, Don Ossie, former All-Star.
I do remember him. He was an Angel, I remember.
Yep. For the Red Sox, shortstop Luis Rivera.
Yes. There he is, going in the hole, getting it.
Okay, I got one of these hologram things. It is World Series Trivia 1943. Isn't that beautiful? And I'll let you guys read it yourselves because I cannot possibly read that. So
pause the video and read it.
Former Royals closer when I lived in Kansas City, Jeff Montgomery, former All-Star.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Former Cardinal, former Cub, former White Sox, the man with the biggest glove I've ever seen in the outfield, center fielder, Lance Johnson.
Lance Johnson. I didn't remember he played for the Cubs. I knew the White Sox and the Cardinals.
Yeah, he played towards the end of his career with the Cubs. Good player, former Giant, former Twin, a lot of speed there, Dan Gladden.
Yes.
And finally, former 20-game winner for the Detroit Tigers. He hadn't done it yet.
Jack Morris?
No. He also pitched for the Expos. In his first major league game, he struck out 18 Cubs, so I'll always remember him, Bill Gullickson.
Wow, I did not know that about Bill. I remember Bill Gullickson. Wow. So one Hall of Famer.
Yeah, first game against the Cubs, first major league start, he struck out 18 Cubs. We were bad.
That's quite a debut right there. And he played a long time. He had a nice career.
Yeah, he had that year in Detroit where he won 20, and his ERA was up about 4. But shows you maybe wins aren't all that important. So,
well, Vince, I took about the first third off the top of that set. And the very first guy I got, and I hope you can see these good, is the one, the only Lars Newbar. How about that? Good looking kid. I like his moxie, and I'm so happy he's one of the Cardinals. He's just always got a smile on his face, and I like that kid. Okay, I got a Houston Astro rookie card, and it looks like it's a third baseman, and the kid's name is Shea Whitcomb. I do not know this kid at all. There we go. Shane Whitcomb. And then you can see these are good-looking cards. These are the 2025 Topps cards. I'm really liking these cards. Vince, it's a rookie card, and it's a refractor, and I love this. It's Mason Wynn refractor card. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
That's nice. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to find out. That may have a little value to it. So I'm going to put that in a special case here tonight. I did not know that was in there. Oh, another one. And it's Brady Singer.
Nice.
How about that? 2 refractor cards in this set. How about that? I'll take it. They have a special set here, first to reach 40 home runs and 100 RBIs. So I guess that was the fastest person to do that. 40 home runs, 100 RBIs, fastest to do it. So there's Aaron Judge, 2024 greatest hits, they call it. So they'll have players and different accomplishments they made. Every team's got some star players, and this is stars of the MLB, and this is Juan Soto, of course. But that's back when he was with the Yankees. Now, as we know, a Met. You mentioned Matt Chapman tonight. You always seem to mention somebody, and he comes up in the cards. But there he is, third baseman. I like this guy. Great defensive. Gold Glover, top notch. Oh my gosh, man, I'm hitting the jackpot here. Another one of Aaron Judge. These
Wow.
stars of the MLB. Man, I'm hitting it. Now, I don't have any Hall of Famers. Speaking, there's another one, Ella De La Cruz. Yeah.
Jake, you're opening up your retirement.
Then
You're
they
gonna be
throw back to like a
buying that
90s
yacht and
card here.
retire.
This is one of your favorite players here, Vince, and it's a 90s special 35th anniversary or something of that year, and it's Tatis Jr.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go. That's nice. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Okay, now we're back to the regular players. Okay. This is Tampa Bay player. I forget what position he plays, but I know Brandon Lowe, and there he is running the bases. Nice picture right there. Let's see here. We got rookie card of Joey Ortiz of the Brewers. There it is.
Nice.
Joey Ortiz making a play across the diamond. Jose Barrios of the Toronto Blue Jays. There you go. Nice,
Yeah,
nice
he got
card.
hit hard on opening day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh. Each team's card, the set with their leaders on it, they have some sort of action picture. And here is the Seattle Mariners team card. And you can see it looks like a walk-off hit or home run of some sort. And they're all celebrating at the plate. I like that. This kid looks pretty good. Boston pitcher Tanner Hoke. Honestly, until this year, I never heard of this kid. And he looked really good his first start of the season. Boston, I think they're a very good team. Let's see here. Oh, here's the Yankee team card with them, the outfielders running in. I like that. Very nice. And I'll finish with the Phillies third baseman Alec Boehm. There's an action photo of him. Very nice. Topps is really, with all the technology now, their picture cards, the trading cards have gotten so nice, and they're able to put those refractors on, and those are the ones people really want in different colors. There's different values to them. So I'm going to look up those two refractors, and next week I'll let you know what they're going for so far. But man, the Mason One refractor is very nice. So
Very
no Hall
cool.
of Famers, but a nice set.
Well, JJ, you got a big week planned?
What am I doing? I'm going up. We have a friend, Troy Lou, he's been having some health issues. And he says, Jay, come up and watch the game with me. Watch the game. So I'm going up Friday night. He's ordering emos. You get emos, Vince. You can get me to go anywhere. So I'm going to go up there after work and watch the game with him. That'll be Boston Red Sox and the Cardinals. So that'll be fun. And I'll get to visit him. That's Friday. Seems like, I don't know, spending time with the family, really, that's it. I've been using my Ninja steam cooker to make chili and stuff like that, so I'll probably try a new recipe. I've got a chicken and rice recipe I'm going to try this weekend. That's it, Vince, and it's baseball 24/7, except when I have to go to work. That's it.
Nice. I got Violet coming home for the weekend. She's coming home Thursday night. She'll be here till Sunday.
Very good.
Saturday night, we're having Evelyn and her boyfriend Tony and Tabitha and Mondo and Dominic coming over.
That's going to be great.
Yeah. So, yeah, she hasn't been home since she left in January. So that's going to be cool. Let's see. I guess it's about it. I mean, next week is a huge week for me. Colonoscopy next week. So.
Oh, I thought that happened already. I was going to bring it up, but it hasn't happened yet. All right.
No, it's a week from tomorrow, and I'll do the prep on Tuesday. So when Tuesday night when I'm on here, I will have lost like 30 pounds of. This is my second one. I've been through it before. So.
Oh, okay. I've done one. I should have done probably 3 by now, but I've done one, and I'm stalling as long as I can until my second one.
Yeah, seriously, besides the prep work and
Yeah.
getting all that done, the procedure itself, I mean, you just
No.
take a nap and you wake up and just like, yeah, let's go get
Yeah.
McDonald's. Yeah, so but anyway. All right. Well, JJ, I will see you next week. Good luck to the Cardinals. Good luck to the Cubs, and go
Yes,
baseball.
sir. Yes.